Over the past few weeks, FirstDown Playbook has been spending quite a bit of time in the pass protection section over in the Varsity offense. And we promised you that we would get in and talk a little bit more about the finer points of it. And so we'll start that today. And we're calling this protection dual pro, meaning that the protection back has two responsibilities. In this case, it's the Mike to the Sam, and the offensive line have got the 4-down back to the will. In this case, it would be a nickel will. You have 11 personnel in the game, and you're in a 2-by-2 formation with 2 deep. Now, before we go any further, I just want to show you all the coaching points are over here in the right-hand side. And obviously, they're editable too, for your offensive line coach. But as you can see, they're very extensive. We talk about a 4-3. We talk about the 3-down defense, who's responsible. The offensive line now has a 3-down to the jack and the will. And I'll show you that here in a second. But that's important that you understand that's over there. And also understand that the protection obviously can be run right or left with the formation. Now, let's take a look right here, because there are your very basic 4-down rules. You've got an over front 3 technique to the tight end side. You've got an A-gap player over here to the weak side. Now, it's important that with pass protection, you understand anytime there are rules, there needs to be exceptions to the rules based on what the defense does. So here's a good example right here. You can see that what they've got going on here is they've got strong rotation to the strong side, meaning the strong safety is down, but yet they've still got the reduction over here, the 3, a 5, and a 9 in this case. They've loaded up and covered the guard, tackle, and the tight end. So having said that, when the quarterback sees this, they need to point out in the center, particularly, that is strong rotation. With strong rotation, you really cannot have the will backer or the nickel will come off the edge here, off the slot. Now, obviously, the will could come and the end could drop out, but that's where that tackle needs to be coached up to where as the end drops out, get depth, look for the will, pick the will up. But you shouldn't have to include anybody else in that part. Now, the rest of it, as you can see, because the will can't come, now your protection rules need to change slightly. Essentially, what you're doing is you're now making the Mike the will. So now the offensive line has the 4-down to the Mike, all right? And now your protection back has to bump one man over, and now they have the Sam and the strong safety, all right? If both of these come and somebody drops out, there'll be a hot route built into the Y right here, or with your Z. So just an example of understanding the protection. Obviously, if it's to the left right here with your strength, the tight end, it would be over here to the right. Now, let's go back. Once again, same protection. Let's take a look at a 3-4 open. All right, 3-4 defense, middle of the field open. This is probably a nickel will. It doesn't have to be. The New England Patriots make a living sometimes off of just playing base personnel and doing their stuff against 11 personnel. So same deal. Now you've got your offensive line. They've got the 3-down back to the jack and the will. The back is dual reading the Mike and the Sam, which is why we called it dual. You can call it whatever. Now, let's take a look. If you close the middle of the field with an odd front. Now the middle of the field is closed. All right, now you've got the safety tucked down. All of your threats are over here, okay? Yes, can you get the will come and the jack pull out late and cover up the F? Absolutely. But when that happens, the guard and tackle over here need to understand they've got the 2 that come. So you don't have to do anything that involves your back. Now, having said that, all the protection bumps over one man to the strong side. So just like with the 4-down front, now your back with a 3-man front has the strong safety to the Sam, and you're picked up with this protection. So we're going to talk more and more about this. We're very detailed about our pass protection stuff, and we think that it needs to be that way. Now, obviously, you can come over here and you can edit any of these plays or any of these play variations and change it to what you want it to be. But this is a good start just for one protection where you essentially have got your back to the 2 over here to the strong side. Now, understand as we leave you right here that this is important to understand for your offensive coordinator. because odds are he's going to want this protection back out weak or strong. In order to do that, you need to understand which protections fit which of his concepts, because if you have this back dedicated to being over here and yet you need them to get on a swing route over here, you're not going to be sound, and there are going to be issues either in the passing game, which is going to suffer, or you're going to take care of the passing game and there's going to be a hot route thrown every time, or worse yet, you're going to have your quarterback getting sacked. So let's take a look right here. Go to Varsity Offense. When you open up the Varsity Offensive section, you can, on a daily basis, you know that we're working right here, but go to Protections, open up Protections, and then you can go into all the different formations, and the one we were on today is 2x2. And as you can see, Dual Pro is only one of 5 that we've got in there, and we'll cover a lot of these over the next several weeks.